أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سماعون للكذب أكالون للسحت فإن جاءوك فاحكم بينهم أو أعرض عنهم وإن تعرض عنهم فلن يضرك شيئا وإن حكمت فاحكم بينهم بالقسط إن الله يحب المقسطين. Sama means to hear. Wastama means listen. Listen attentively. Listen carefully. Sama'una in Arabic is exaggerated sense. That means ready listeners. Absolutely ready to listen. So Sama'una lil kazab. These are ready listeners for the lies. These are ready listeners for the lies, absolutely willing to listen to any lies. Akaluna lis-saht. Akal in Arabic means to eat. Akal, you know who we call? The people who eat this much. In our language we call petu. Petu. Akaluna lis. Akal means real sort of devourer. He eats a lot. So akaluna lis-saht. Saht means haram, money. Haram, property. Haram, asset. Anything haram, that is saht, which you could attain or acquire or you could snatch from someone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about Muslims or Bani Israel? Bani Israel, but that's what we are. We would take the money and asset and property from anywhere and everywhere we could put the hands on. If the office where I work, I will sell the office. No problem. If I'm a big officer, I will sell the whole department. If I'm even bigger, I will sell the whole country. If I'm in rather a smaller place, whatever position I'm in, I will sell the things. Akalun lis-saht. Does it make sense? That's the reason that we should read and try to understand Quran. Is no point just putting the whole life reading one Sahaba here incidents and other Sahaba incidents. It does help for a very brief period, but this gives you the overall picture. Why Muslims are in bad shape? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the Bani Israel, but it seems we are doing it. That's the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about Bani Israel. Because the Muslims will do the same thing and not will do. We are doing the same thing. We are doing akaluna lis-saht. Absolutely corrupt to the core. And the irony is this person will have a beard and he will come to the mosque as well. Let us go with us in our society. That's what we do. He's got a beard, he's got a cap, and mashallah, he fasts and he comes to the prayer. But he does not know that the one who puts anything haram in his tummy, he is putting himself to the hellfire. So what's the point of doing all these rituals? When his food is haram, his clothes is haram, he is feeding his children from the haram money and he is expecting that his children will be alright. How can it be alright? They are eating haram money, man. Their food is haram, their clothes is haram, everything is haram in their blood. So how do you expect your children to respect you when you are old age? How do you expect your children to behave themselves as if they are your son? They behave as if they are your father. Because you have fed them with the haram money. But I'm not telling anything. This is Quran. Akaluna lis-saht. And these things are not appreciated. They are not encouraged in the society. And the people who are involved or indulge in this, earning haram money, oh no. You got a big house, that's how you get respect. A'udhu billah min zalik. That's a Muslim society, a Muslim community, where you have got a big house. That's the reason, whether it is from haram money or it is someone else taken the inheritance from someone else unnecessarily or forced upon or taken from a grab from a poor person, just somehow cheated him and put it in your name and you have got a big house. And society gives respect. Society is at war with itself. This is not a Muslim society. Muslim society would never give any respect to a person who earns halal, who eats halal, who earns haram, who eats haram, who clothes haram, who feeds haram. Everything is haram from us. The society knows, and yes, they see salute to Bala Sahib, Haji Allah, and they are Muslim. So the whole yardstick is being messed up. And that's the reason we have got no beauty in our society. So you heard that, and this is not in one place. Surah Ma'idah is full of it. Salt, akaluna salt. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Does it make any sense when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the one who does not judge according to the commands of Allah, they are fasiq. Fasiq means defiantly sinful. Not only sinful, defiantly sinful. And the وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. They are the wrongdoers and oppressors. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. They are the non-believers, they are the kafir. 3 times it says. Now, did you understand what it meant? That a Muslim is not supposed to take his case to a non-Muslim, because he will decide according to his own law. Under compulsion, what can you do? For example, here we live. So we are under compulsion. We will, if really, we will not be willingly taking our case. Just simply, okay, just sue him. Everything, sue him. What do you mean we sue him, man? Who is going to take a decision? But in our place, our judges, the Muslim judges, they also decide not according to the commands from here. The one who does not judges, does not makes a decision because of by the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is a fasiq, he is a zalim, and he is a kafir. I'm not doing anything, this Quran says. But that's what we are doing. So where our society has gone, and no wonder we have got no beauty in our society. We have to keep on shouting that Islam is the best religion, Islam is the code of conduct. But where is that best religion, man? What sort of a religion do you have? It does not sort out your problem. It does. You are educationally backward. It does not sort out your problem. Socially, you are downtrodden. It does not sort out your problem. Financially, you are broke. It does not sort out your problem. By the family life is absolutely not in shape. So what sort of Islam do you practice? How do you tell the world, shouting from this member, it's the best religion, and it's the code of conduct, and it's the way of life, and we did this, that, and the other, forget about what you did in the past. Why Islam is not sorting out your problem now? Where is the problem? Have we thought about it? We should think about it. That we are not practicing as the Islam asks us to practice. We are interested in, for example, in very sort of a ritualistic type of religion, whereas Islam is a dynamic, is a revolutionary religion. Just to let you understand, I was I had taken a team to teach the doctors, train the doctors during the Hajj time, from King Saud University, Riyadh, to Mustashfa Noor in Makkah. And there someone found out from my place that I'm there for 5 days. I have to train them. On the last day I have to take their exam. All the Ministry of Health doctors. So he invited me to his place. And then a couple of days later he telephoned that one of his relatives is visiting. So can you, his wife has got a heart problem, so can you see him? I told him, okay, invite the same day. You have invited me, invite him that day. They were from India. So they were doing Hajj time. So I went and saw his wife and said whatever I had to tell them, I advised them. I saw her husband and I asked his introduction. So he is secretary of a department, and secretary of a department, a Muslim from India, is uncommon creed, is not common. So in other words, he's done the administrative service and all that. Pretty big shot. So for the whole estate, one department, he's a secretary. So they are used to, it's the Hali Mahali, people in front, people behind, a sort of, it's an our background. So he had a round cap and he had a tasbih in his hand. So I asked him, what's your plan now when you go back? He was a senior man. And the age difference between me and my father. So he must be around about 60. He's still working, so last phase. I must be in my mind, 40s. 40, 41. So I told, what will you do? What's your plan now? When you return back, so I think you will go and be most of the time in the mosque. Because this round cap and the tasbih in his hand, he's doing Hajj. So I told, yes, that's what I will do. That's what my plan is. So I told, you are a very selfish person, aren't you? Imagine the age difference, father and the son. And the person, all his life, that's what he had, nothing but flattery, and the people are in front and behind looking after him because he's a big shot. He's not used to these sort of statements. Arul, you are a very selfish person. And I kept looking at his face. So he just looked at me and he didn't say a word. And then I had to tell, I told, you must be thinking that I'm a very rude person, telling you that you are a selfish person. I've never met you. But to be very honest, you are selfish. Look, up till now you looked after your wife and your son and yourself, this worldly life. Now that you have come for Hajj, you are going to go back and you will be all the time spending your time in the mosque, so you will try to look after your akhirah. So isn't it you are a selfish person? Only you are looking after this world or the life hereafter. And the qawm kahin chulhe mein jaye. Who looks after the qawm? Who is going to look after the qawm? You are supposed to be. You are mutrafin. You are educated, elite class. You could think big. You could plan big. You could execute big. So why don't you lead the qawm? Look after them. He started crying. He told Dr. Saab, no one has shaken me like this. What should I do? And then I had a long discussion. But this is Islam, which is very dynamic. It is on a large canvas. It is revolutionary. It is not do this time 30 times you get this, you get 35 times you get this reward and you that reward. Of course we should do it. That's also part of the sort of religion. But part of the religion, not the whole religion. Now look here now. Because, I always ask question, why is it that Muslims are the most corrupt people? And none of this section of the Muslim community is an exemption. For example, our religious leadership is also no exception. Now you will ask me a question, oh God, are you sure? How come, how dare you could say that? Oh, I'm not telling you anything. Look what Quran says. And Quran, whatever word, even a word Quran says, believe me, it has got a relevance. Quran is telling about the Bani Israel. Why didn't they did not do this? Why they are the people who are ready listeners for the lies, who are the sort of devourers of the haram? Bani Israel did. So what I've got to do with it? Because I will do the same thing. Muslims will do the same thing. They are doing now. Now listen to this word, this is a statement. Lawla, why not? Yanhahumur Rabbaniyuna wal ahbar. Why not? The priests and the scholars and the monks, they stopped, prevented, and qawlahumul ism, from these people using the bad words or sins, wa'aklahumus sawt, and devouring or eating up the haram money. Labisa ma kanu yasnaun. What a bad deed they are doing, evil deed they are doing. Quran is telling. About whom? About religious scholar, about religious priest, about religious monk. He's telling, why not these people have stopped the others, stopped the people, masses, not to eat the haram mal, haram money. So Quran is taking a tough accountability of religious leadership. I'm not telling anything. Anyone who understands, I just translate it by word by word. Lawla, why not? Yanhahum, stopped them. Rabbaniyun, the rabbis. That means the Allah wale, yani priest. Wal ahbar, and the scholars. An qawlihim al-ism wa aklihim as-sawt. Why not they stop the people? What they are doing? They are using the foul language, using the bad language, using the loose utterances of the tongue. They are using the tongue loosely, and they are eating haram money. Why did these religious leadership did not stop or prevent these people from doing it? What they had been doing? Does it make sense? Because our religious leadership itself is not in great shape. Not in great shape. I told you that go to madrasa, you will feel nauseated. You feel like you need to vomit. Yes. Because unless we take our accountability, we will never mend our ways. A student who does not know which subject he is weak in, how can he correct himself? He thinks everything is okay. My son, he got 1B in class 5 or class 6. So I asked him, why did you get B? And then he said, I don't know. So I told him, oh my God, he has got 2 problems. He got B and he doesn't know why he got B. How would he correct? I didn't talk to him for a week. Oh God, I provide you everything. And you got B and you do not know why you got B. Exactly the same. Muslims, they do not take their accountability. We have to take our accountability, and accountability of everyone, the whole qawm, myself individually, and also as a qawm, and also our religious leadership. They have not done justice. Whatever they have done, we are grateful and thankful to them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them reward. On one breath. And the next breath we tell, they have not really succeeded to give the true understanding as the Quran suggests the Islam is. It's so dashing, so dynamic, so moving, so revolutionary. Very ritualistic, very static type of religion. That's the reason we have got no beauty. And the world does not test that beauty either. Look, Quran says, وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ أَقَامُوا التَّوْرَاةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ. If these Nasara, Christians, and the Bani Israel, had they established Tawrat and Injil and whatever has been revealed unto them from their Lord, لَأَكَلُوا مِنْ فَوْقِهِمْ وَمِنْ تَحْتِ أَرْجُلِهِمْ. They would have eaten from the top. Rained, the barakah would have rained from the top, and the barakah from underneath their feet. وَكَثِيرٌ مِّنْهُمْ سَاءَ مَا يَعْمَلُونَ. And a majority of them, they are evildoers. And the bracket, did you understand? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling to Bani Israel to establish what is in Torah and what is in Bible. What about us? He's telling us. He's telling us also that you should also, if you are in bad shape, the reason is you are not establishing Islam. You are not establishing Quran. How can we establish Islam? You've got no clue what is in Quran. So, Quran says that if you want the blessings of barakah from the top raining and from underneath your feet, the barakah and the ne'mah, the grace and the favor, you want it, go ahead, establish Quran and you will get it. But we will do everything, but we will not do that. So, who is at fault? Again, قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ لَا تَغْلُوا فِي دِينِكُمْ. Do not exceed your limits. Do not, in other words, the bounds, the limits, the boundary wall which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set in the religion. And you could see the troubles which we are making. We are making a Buzurg Sahab too close to Prophet or God knows better what. We are exaggerating things. We are very good in exaggerating things. And that's what we do about our awliya. They are awliya all right, on their own right. They are awliya. They will get good reward from there. But the way we are doing things, increasing things, one day I was standing in Ilford Lane. I had gone there to buy things, grocery. And it was such a big crowd, Muslims, four-wheel, thela gaadi jisko kehte hain, the people who sell, keep the things, that sort of things. So the whole road from here to there is blocked. I cannot cross from one side of the road to another. And there were a couple of Hindu as well standing there. So one asked the other, what's going on here now? And there is a mic and Naat of Rasulullah Sallallahu, and God knows better what's going on. And we are standing there for 15 minutes, I can do nothing. So that one Hindu asked another Hindu, and then he asked, what's going on? He told, Miyaji log ka festival hai, This is the festival of the Muslims, and that's it. Dusra Miyaji, I am standing there with them as I have to cross the road. What sort of a festival is that? The Muslims, you would not believe, and I led the Eid al-Adha prayer, it is 20 years ago. No, maybe 18 years ago. It's Southend. Christmas and Eid, both Eid or Eid al-Adha, either of the two, both fell on the same day. And you could see the dignity, the respect of the Eid day. And you could see the Christmas day. The people are scared to go out because the people will be drunk, they will be driving. Every year there are casualties, fatalities and all sorts of things. While the Muslims, they get up in the morning, they get the bath, shower, clothes, nice clothes. They go to the mosque and then they pray there. First of all, they show their gratefulness, thankfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go eat and drink just like anyone else enjoys. We enjoy as well. Of course, when we visit each other, look at how respectable, dignified. On the other. So world says this is I'm not telling you. This is also in the paper, newspaper. People saw it. Now this is the surah which made the what do you call? The sharab, the khamr, wine, haram. Because 3 different stages. First of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the harm is more than the benefit. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we have studied, فَلَا تَقْرِبُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْتُمْ سُكَارَى حَتَّى تَعْلَمُوا مَا تَقُولُونَ. You should not go close to the prayer unless you know what you, in a state of intoxication, unless you know what you are saying. And now this, read here now. Because the people who drink alcohol, they always, I have been asked many times by my colleague, where is in Quran, Javed? Because they think Javed he does not know. So they have, where is in Quran? Ya ayyuhallazina amanu innamal khamru wal maisiru wal ansab wal azlam rijsun min amali shaitan fastanabihuhu la'allakum tuflihun. One thing more I want to highlight. I am surprised in the Muslim society and Muslim community, the way the sorcery, the magic, the black magic, and these sort of things are rampant. I didn't know these sort of things. Because I grew up in a family, my father was transferred in a town. I was looking for a house to rent, and then he was trying to look, it was a big house, rent, and then someone to look, there is a jinn lives there. So my father said, that's the house will suit me fine. So I have grown up with that sort of rebellious attitude. Come on now. So, but otherwise, you've got towns and towns there. Every house has got a jinn. Oh, jinn is in Quran. So how can you deny jinn? Come on, you could have the jinn. I don't have any relationship. I've never had any trouble with jinn. You just, it's their ways, it's my different ways, so how does it bother you? But if you get your nose into these sort of stuff, that's what you get. You just simply keep away, finish. Keep praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Certainly wine, wal maisar and gambling, wal ansab and the statue or images, wal azlam and the divining arrows. Rissum min amli shaitan, they are the filth and the dirt of the deeds of Satan. Fastanabuhu, so ignore them and avoid them. La'allakum tuflihun, perhaps you will succeed. And before we have read about the sorcery and magic as well. And it's surprised that the Muslim society is still we talk about black magic and sorcery and those sort of things. This is not only haram, this is kufr. Remember, sorcery and magic or black magic is kufr. It's not a question of whether it's not a good thing and this or no, it is kufr straight away. But still, what can you say? So our society, it does not follow the edicts. Then no wonder there is no beauty. So why do we claim the Irabis? Look here now. Qul la yastawil khabis. Say. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Rasulullah, say, O Prophet, say to the people, la yastawil khabis. The bad cannot be equal. What bad cannot be equal to the good. وَلَوْ عَجَبَكَ, this one I want to emphasize you. وَلَوْ عَجَبَكَ كَثْرَةُ الْخَبِيثِ, even though it might impress you, the majority or the plenitude of the people. That means a lot of people are doing it, so it must be right. No. That's not the criteria. Rasulullah ﷺ was alone. So, and the people were not following him in the beginning. It took a while. So similarly here, if something is good or bad, they are not the same. Even though plenty of people are doing it, that does not mean that becomes right automatically. No, that may be wrong. Plenty of people are doing wrong, because Quran says so, that most of the people are fasiq. Because good people are not in majority. And similarly, Quran says, you could see yourself, Quran has quoted it. It's a surprise because we don't read Quran. You know, every now and then I have to do myself, or I have to hire someone, and you as well, to pluck or to look after the weeds. Yes or no? It just simply comes out. Weeds. But if you want a nice flower, nice fruit tree, there you have to work hard for it. But the weed, it just simply comes out of the ground. Similarly, the khabis, the bad things, they just grow up. You don't need very hard work for that. Just like the weeds. So we have to be very careful that, particular Jamaat, there are plenty in number, or so more people are doing these things. These things are no criteria in Islam. By number, or because some more people are doing those sort of things, doesn't mean anything. Now here again, one of the common mistake from the Muslims. They always talk about someone else. Remember what I am telling you, you have to remember these things. This is, after 50, 60 years I have been reading and doing nothing. If you come to my house, you will be shocked. From floor to the ceiling, nothing but books, not in one room, everywhere. This is, I always say, a mediocre. Remember the definition of a mediocre. A mediocre talks about someone else. A mediocre talks about someone else. Oh, he says this, he says this, he does that, and he is this, that, and the other. A mediocre talks about someone else. And an achiever is a person who does not know if his house is on the fire. He does not talk about someone else. He is busy in achieving things, man. The others talk about him. You have to make yourself in that position. The others should talk about you. We all talk about achievers, but the mediocres talk about others. Does it make sense? That's the reason I always say, and you all are in a position, you must have a small kids, make your children daydreamer. We don't give dreams to our children. The people who got no dreams, they would not achieve, man. Self-esteem and daydreamer. This is the reason. Remember this, I translate. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, O believers, alaykum anfusakum. It's your business, is your business. Whatever you do is your business. La yuzurrukum man zalla idha ihtadaytum. It will not hurt you if someone else is misguided. If you are guided, nothing will hurt you. If someone is misguided, leave it. Don't talk about him. Don't waste your time talking about someone else, or he's misguided. Does it make sense? Which we are very much indulging. And then after that, Surah Maida again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the wasiyah, inheritance, wasiyah, bequest. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu shahadatu bainakum iza hazara ahadakum al-maut hina al-wasiyati islan zawa adlin minkum. When someone is dying, make the bequest with two just witnesses. I will finish here. Yeah, Surah will finish. This you must have heard from me. You will not hear this these ways, the way I say things. Sometimes people think, what this person is talking about. Yawma yajma'u Allahu rasula. The day when Allah will collect and assemble and gather the prophets, the messengers, فَيَقُولُ, and Allah will say to these messengers, فَيَقُولُ مَاذَا وَجِبْتُمْ, what you were responded, what was their answer? Whose answer? Our answer. The people answer. The answer from the nas, from the masses, from the public to the messengers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assemble the messengers and ask, what way you responded? What was the answers of the Qawm? Qawm does not mean here only Muslims. From all the people. Maza wajibtum, what way you responded? Qalu la ilma lana. The messenger will say, we don't have any knowledge. Innaka anta allamul ghuyub, you are the one who is the most knowledgeable of the unseen. After my death, what happened? I've got no clue. The messengers will say like this. Do you understand what it means? Messengers will be asked, similarly we will be asked. Dhurendra Singh, Birendra Prasad, Mr. John, Mr. Lawrenson, when they stand there, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask, why didn't you believe in? I said, I've got no clue. How did you ask me to, did you expect me to believe? This Javed Sahib used to be my colleague. He never let me know what the Ramadan is all about, what Islam is all about. I've got no clue. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will turn to us, the Muslims, say, what's going on here now? Because each one of Muslim believer is a shahid. Each one of us has to bear witness to the others. So we have to take, because there is no prophet going to come. So it is our duty now to take these people, and they are going to put us into trouble. I always remember this and I finish this. Mauli Sahib, we think that they don't present Islam the way it ought to be. Most of them, not all, but they are doing a good job, whatever is within their limits. But we think that they are presenting Islam in a very restrained, ritualistic way, in a very static way, not as dynamic, as revolutionary as it is. But they will all get away with it. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask, what sort of Islam did you present? Then they will say, look, you didn't give me a big IQ, big brain. I did not prove my brain to my worth to big universities in the world. You didn't give me much money. So I didn't even fulfill the demands of my wife or my children. I had a small amount of money. But to your question, they will say, to your question that why did I present Islam in such a restrained way? But you gave big IQ to these doctors, these engineers, these professors, these accountants. They proved their worth to big universities in the world. Go and ask them, what did they do with the Islam? Why did they not they present Islam to the world? So हम लोग की छुट्टी हो जाएगी. We will be in trouble. Do you understand me? Similarly here, the bearing witness, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on one hand we say no more prophet, okay, no more prophet. So who is going to do the job of prophet? This is the time, man, the prophet should come. No question about it. The circumstances we are living in, the zulm ki intaha ho gayi hai. Just by one drum beating and 1 million gone in thin air. Haji Allah, 5 countries, they are down to rubbles. Now the prophet should come, but the prophet is not going to come. We know it. So who is going to do the job of the prophet? Each one of us. And if we do not do it, we will be accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no question about it. So better we correct and rectify our thinking that, oh, I prayed so many times, mashallah, I fasted so many times. So much better. And thank to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gave us tawfiq. I am thankful to Allah. Otherwise, I may not have fasted. I may not have prayed. I may not have sat down. Thank you, Allah. But is this enough? The answer is no. It is not. It still failed. Because we have got so much of responsibility. We should ask ourselves question in this month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us, accept our fast, our ruku, our sujood. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the correct understanding of Islam so that when we reach on the day of resurrection, it is not a surprise for us. Because surprise on that day for this type is disaster. Because there is nothing to rectify or mend our ways or correct our weaknesses. رَبَّنَا إِنَّنَا آمَنَّا فَاغْفِرْ لَنَا ذُنُوبَنَا وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم اللهم نعوذ بك من فتنة المحيا والممات ومن فتنة القبر ومن فتنة المسيح الدجال اللهم نعوذ بك من سخطك والنار وما يقربنا عليها من قول وفعل وعمل. اللهم نسألك رضاك والجنة وما يقربنا عليها من قول وفعل وعمل. اللهم نسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك والسلامة من كل اسم والغنيمة من كل بر والفوز بالجنة والنجاة من النار. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. Oh Allah, make this Ramadan better than the Ramadan of the last year. Oh Allah, give us the correct understanding and correct tasawwur ad-deen before we reach on the day of Hashr, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, give health and cure to all those people who are ill. Fulfill the needs of every one of us. Ya Allah, the people who are not here, have mercy on them and forgive them. And give us the opportunity to get the maximum out of this Ramadan, inshallah Rabbul Alameen. Oh Allah, extricate our neck from the hellfire. Have mercy on us and forgive our sin. Wa sallallahu ala khairi khalqi Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.